Moving on, we're then going to Tiffany Stratton versus, oh my god, Trish Stratus. Tiffany Stratton versus Tiffany Stratton. Do you know how hard that is to say? 25, 26, 27, 28, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so I think I'm right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Before the Free Count. This week we have got a lot to go through, from Saturday night main event to Evolution to what's coming up at SummerSlam in 2 weeks and the return of the mighty OTC Roman Reigns. Let's get to it. Run the thing.
Are you ready?
We are Before the Free Count. Wrestling for the fans, by the fans.
The number one podcast for the latest on Raw, SmackDown, all pay-per-views. My name's Charlie. I've been a wrestling fan since I was the age of 15. And over the last 5 years, I've gone on the most insane journey. We go through everything, analysing every moment. Welcome to Before the Free Count. So come along and let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to yet another episode of Before the Free Count. I am your host with the most, Mr. Charlie Crick, here to give you all of my opinions and reviews on what's been going on in wrestling over this weekend. Wow. Some stuff I might forget. I've written notes, but there's a lot to go through, man. And this is just a WWE podcast. I mean, if we covered AEW as well, we'd be sitting here for like nearly 2.5 hours. Because, of course, they've just had All In as well. I wasn't going to mention this. I didn't know how I was going to start this, but there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another episode, as I said. I honestly, I'd go for everything again like I did at the beginning of the show in the main entrance. But main entrance, what am I on about? There's so much to get through. I'm rambling, okay? We need to get to the point because there is so much to go through. So we're going to start one by one, make our way through the list. And hopefully you'll be able to, tell what's what. I apologise if that mic at the beginning was a little bit echoey. I do apologise. I hope that's a bit better now. Okay, to start off, let's go to Saturday night main event. We're only going to cover 2 fights. I know there was 4, but we're going to cover 2, okay? We've got a lot to go through. So Saturday night main event, we had the shock of a lifetime when Seth Rollins basically looked like he broke his ankle again in a fight with LA Knight. He went to go and do for a backwards ring toss into the ring, and he landed really badly on his foot. You could see whatever it was shoot up his body. And immediately, a lot of people are saying that maybe because of, what's come out over the last 24 hours, this could be a story plot, but we don't know. But at the moment, our Money in the Bank winner is out. LA Knight is fine because he wasn't involved in the injury. But a lot of people are saying this could be part of a storyline. I'm very much in the middle because the injury looked really real. And he's had injury with his leg before. I think he also hurt his back, which we all know he's had issues with before. He doesn't want to have the surgery on his back because he thinks if he has it, he won't be able to wrestle again, is what he thinks. So it's kind of a bit of it's a real interesting one. I mean, I kind of hope it is fake for his sake, that it's, not that bad. But at the same time, when I watched it, it was one of those where you rewound it and actually saw like the pain shoot up his body. I really wasn't expecting that. And Paul Heyman's initial reaction as well, and I know he is probably one of the best sellers in the whole of this industry, but his initial reaction was, oh fuck. And it kind of leaves them in an interesting position, but this is the thing, is it a storyline? Because they fixed it so quickly. So maybe some of these cogs were in motion, maybe some of it wasn't. The thing that does make sense, though, if he's gone away, when he returns, he cashes in. That's what I'm... And it could be the last thing we speak about today, which is SummerSlam, because we're building up to a 2-night SummerSlam. It would make sense, but at the same time... I don't know, man. It's really, really interesting. I'd love to get your thoughts on this. Do you think the injury on Seth Rollins is real? Or is it part of a storyline? Please let me know what you think. Please. Put it in the comments or send it to me via Spotify. Or send it over tweet or Instagram or something like that. Okay? Next thing. Goldberg's last match. I've met Goldberg. I've spoken about this before. I've met Goldberg. He's a wonderful guy. He's an amazing career. He's a very good performer. Probably not one of the best wrestlers in the world in terms of actually wrestling. But he's been a legend all these years. And for him to go back and do one more match... And I am shocked. I really was shocked that it was a one and done. I really thought that they were going to, go for this and put it into SummerSlam. I really, really did. I mean, they still could. Because of the whole Goldberg tapped out thing, but they can't. I've just remembered because of what they've done last night. They can't do that. So there won't be a rematch. So yeah, it is it. With Goldberg now, that's it, the end of his story. It was a brilliant match, really good. It was really nice to see Chad Robinson do the refereeing for that match, considering his history with Goldberg and all the fights that he's refereed for him. And Chad Robinson is a legendary referee in WWE. He's been there since, I think, about 1996 or 7, something like that now. And before that, you had Bob. I can't remember his name. Bob something. But yeah, it was a really good match. The only thing is where it's a Goldberg match, it's not going to be your big finale of the night kind of match. Goldberg can't go long in the ring. Almost sounds like a metaphor, that. Anyway, no, he's a legend, okay? So, yeah, all love to Goldberg. Congratulations on a phenomenal career. And enjoy your retirement, man. It was a brilliant match. To me, it was a bit short, but, sometimes that happens. With Goldberg, they've never been known to go on for, 40 minutes. It's just his style. However, he went out his own way. He did it the way he wanted to. Well, minus someone retiring before he could get there. Anyway, it was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. Well done, Goldberg. Have a great retirement, that's what I will say. Moving on from there, we're going to go straight into Evolution now. I thought I was going to like Evolution. I thought this is going to be a pretty good pay-per-view. I didn't expect to walk away with it, to have it as contender as one of the best pay-per-views of the year, up there with WrestleMania, and some of the matches to actually be some of not just the best women matches I've seen this year, but some of the best women's matches I've ever seen. Wow. What a show. And a lot of people were really doubting this show, myself included. It didn't feel like it was put together on time. It felt a bit rushed. It didn't seem to have the same aura that the first one had. But right out of the gate, to get Stephanie McMahon to come out and present the thing with the American football guy. I know I keep on calling him that, but I just forget to write down his name, guys. I'm sorry, but that is what he will be known as on this podcast. The American football guy. But right out the gate, to bring Stephanie McMahon back and to have her present it alongside him, and them to go back and forth all night, and her to be in the ring to speak to some of them, that really, really added to it for me, because Stephanie was the one that was pushing the Divas Revolution back in 2013, 2014 to where it got to in 2017, I believe the last Evolution was. Maybe, yeah, 7 years ago. And we're in 2025. But anyway, it was fantastic to see her back. We need more Stephanie McMahon. Man, she's such a crucial cog to the WWE company. It's the same as Vince was. But he really is. She really is one of the. When I see Stephanie McMahon, I know we're going to see something to do with pushing women to the highest level that they can be, and they are equal. They are equal now, because there's matches that I saw on Saturday night, Monday morning, sorry, that it took some of the men in that locker room out the water. We're going to start going through these now, but I just wanted to say, preface going into this, I genuinely think that Evolution could be the pay-per-view of the year at this current stage. I know we've got SummerSlam coming up and it's going to be 2 nights, and I know it's at WrestleMania as well, but genuinely I think Evolution could actually be the best pay-per-view this year. Just out and out fantastic. Bearing in mind, and I know we don't talk about it here, I haven't seen All In yet. I'm going to get around to watch that probably, because I'm quite busy this week. I'm probably going to get around to watch that next week, this weekend coming up. And if you want me to, I will talk about AEW on here if you want me to. But I try and keep it just to WWE, because it's a little bit easier with my scheduling to be able to get them shows in around my work pattern as well. So, let me know if you want me to talk about AEW. Absolutely fine. I'm a massive fan of them. People think I don't like them. I think Jon Moxley was fantastic. I'm really happy that Hangman Adam Page is now the champion. Will Ospreay is probably one of my favourite wrestlers ever. He's a London boy, kind of myself and my old man. He's a legend, okay, in London and in England. As a wrestler, Will Ospreay he's a legend, okay? The fact that, little things that he does that just represent the UK, all his shirts are like football jerseys. The way he talks in the ring, brilliant, okay? So if you want me to talk about AEW, believe me, I will happily. Just, you need to let me know, because I need to schedule it in. But that being said, without seeing All In, and what I've heard about it, which is supposed to be phenomenal, by the way, from the pay-per-views I've actually seen, Evolution is probably the best one I've seen this year. Hands down. Okay? I'm going to get to these matches now, because I'm kind of dragging this on a bit, but I knew this was going to happen, guys, because what we have witnessed over Saturday, Sunday and Monday, which is Tuesday when I record this now, okay? What we've witnessed over them last 3 days within wrestling is nothing short of some of the best wrestling I've seen all year, and probably some of the best movement in storylines I've seen in probably 2 years, okay? The way that they've made this work in a way that it all fitted together, no one kind of clashed with each other, and they've still made it all fit, because I was really worried when they put Evolution here, and then they literally said the timestamp between Money in the Bank, Evolution, and 2 nights SummerSlam was 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. I was really worried. Really, really worried. Because I thought, how are you going to put 3 of the major shows together with 3 weeks leading up to one, 2 weeks leading up to the other, and 2 weeks leading up to the other one? I just didn't see how they were going to do it. I really didn't, but fair play to them. They have knocked it out of the park. And from what we've already know going into SummerSlam now, and knowing it's a 2-night event, all I'm going to say, they've been planning this a long time, okay? I say this every now and then, and I forget it myself. Nothing in WWE and nothing in wrestling happens without a reason, okay? Nothing happens without a reason. That's the reason I'm quite a bit curious about that Seth Rollins thing. That's one of those reasons, by the way. I'm going to get to these Evolution matches that I keep on telling were absolutely fantastic, but not started to talk about now. Let's get started. Jade Cargill versus Naomi with Bianca Belair as the referee. One quick thing on this, just because I think some people think, especially about a year ago, I do think a few people thought that I really didn't like Bianca Belair. I did, but I wanted to see her, I don't know. I got back into wrestling about 5 years ago now, okay? And at that point, she was the champion. She never really, she'd done stuff that had impressed me, but there's nothing that made me go, why is she at the level that she's at? Like, what have I missed within them 18 months from when Bray Wyatt left? after losing the title. That was the last time I watched, to when I started tuning in around about February 2022. Okay, what had I missed in that time? That's what I wanted to know. Oh my God, she's phenomenal. Okay, we know that now. She's phenomenal, and I love her. I think she's just incredible in the ring. Okay, the reason I'm saying this, second ever women's full pay-per-view, she's a referee. Why is she not fighting? Unless if she has an injury that we haven't actually been told about yet, which could be possible, because she hasn't wrestled for about 2 weeks, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe I've forgotten that she had an injury. Okay, I might be being an idiot here, but the fact that she went into that pay-per-view and she was just a ref, I kind of thought it was a bit of a kick in the stomach for her. Unless if I'm missing something, okay? If I'm missing something and it's really obvious, like she's got an injury and everyone else in the world knows about this, I'll throw my hands up and say, sorry, I didn't know, okay? But that's the one tiny thing going into this match, when I talk about it, that I just thought that could have made it a triple threat. And the other thing, just really, this is what it's going to be like for the whole podcast, by the way. Another thing that I absolutely loved to see was that we were giving the women referees the chance, and there was not one male referee in that ring throughout the entire pay-per-view. It was presented by Stephanie McMahon. Right, we had the commentators of always. All right, fair enough. We had Michael Cole and Wade Barrett as the commentators, but I don't actually remember any female commentators at any point, okay? I'm just being honest here. Apart from the commentators, everyone that was involved in that match was females. And it was brilliant to see them actually really go for it. I think even most of the camera women were actually camera women instead of cameramen. So it was throughout the entire production. And I guarantee you that Stephanie helped produce the show when she weren't on screen. Guarantee you. Because believe me, she's done it before. You might not see it because we don't see behind the curtain. That's another thing. That's going to come the catchphrase of this podcast. That's another thing. We've got a brand new documentary coming out on Netflix, I think this week. I think it comes out on the 18th of July. 18th of the 21st, rings a bell, something like that, of WWE behind the scenes. And it's the first ever time we're going to see how they put together an event like WrestleMania. I think it's going to just go from like January through to WrestleMania and show us like how they choose who's going to win the Rumble, what the production side looks like, what it really takes to run a show as big as WWE. Okay, you know, 3 times a week, 1 pay-per-view a month, 200 shows a year, 318 days on the road. You know, we're going to see what that is like. Okay, I'm so excited for that documentary. I'm so excited for that documentary, so make sure you check it out. Now I'm going to get on to the fight. 20 minutes in, Jesus Christ. Jade versus Naomi with Bianca Belair as the referee, as I said. What a match. Oh my God. Talk about kick the show off well. It was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal from start to finish. She was brilliant. And the one thing I want to mention on this, there's a lot of people that have been saying for a while, you haven't really seen much of Jade Cargill since she joined. You've seen bits and bobs and every now and then. I thought her redefining moment was at WrestleMania in that Fatal 4-Way, okay? This was like a whole new other version of Jade we haven't seen before. It was incredible. The other thing I want to add to this, Naomi, this new persona, the way that she's carried herself, what I love is, because of course we know what happened, but I'm not going to talk about it yet, when she was on Monday Night Raw last night, they were going, no, don't cheer me, it's too late for that. I'm loving that, because it is so true. It is so true. There are so many people that doubted Naomi. From when she left with Sasha Banks in 2022, in that April or May, okay, to then going off to TNA, to then doing independent stuff like Progress, to then going to all these different countries, and then to come back to WWE, be the person she wanted to be, try the glow again, and it weren't working. And she's made this new persona of Naomi. And you see it within the people that have known her all this time, like Big E, when she won that Money in the Bank. Go watch that speech on the post show, okay? There is emotion in that man's voice. This woman has deserved this moment for so long, and it is amazing to see her finally get it. Having said that, she lost the match, but you know where I'm going later, okay? Having said that, she lost the match, but the match, for a starter match, honestly, probably one of my favourite female matches I've seen this year, and is up there with that Fatal 4-Way from WrestleMania. It was just incredible, okay? And then we had one of my favourite matches of the whole night. They were all fantastic. They were all my favourite matches. Becky versus Lyra versus Bayley. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And I'm so happy that Becky retained. By the way, the only other person I wanted to win that was Bayley, and I just didn't see it happening from the get-go, okay? And that's another thing, like a little side rant is, can we just give Bayley a proper chance? And I know people are going to go, well, she won the Royal Rumble last year and she won at WrestleMania, but they didn't really give her the chance, did they? Did they? Like, she had 2 matches after Royal Rumble. They made her match very obvious who she was going to compete. They didn't let her main event. She was put on, I don't even think she was first to get that boost that Jey Uso got. She got like 3rd on the card, I believe. And I think she was on the second night as well. Like third match of the night, WrestleMania, night 2. Right, most people want to be on night 2, but you want to be within them like top, second to last final matches, okay? Or the opening match, okay? They're the big spots. Them middle spots, like 2 to 4, no one wants it. And they gave her that. And then once she did win at WrestleMania, they gave her 2 matches. 2 matches as the champion. And the second one, she lost. And we didn't see her for like another 3 months. Like, come on. And then she was on another podcast before WrestleMania, and she even said then, wait till you see what they've done to me this year. Like, brutally honest, knowing that she was going to be taken out of the match for an injury because of Becky Lynch, so they could bring Becky Lynch back for WrestleMania. I was just like, you know what? Nah, you don't treat Bayley like that. You don't treat Bayley like that. I really hope that they give her a push. I really do. Just please, okay? Make it interesting, okay? Make it interesting. Let Bayley referee the last match. That would be good. Let's get Bayley to referee Lyra versus Becky at SummerSlam. Makes sense, wouldn't it? Be brilliant. Okay? And she could choose her winner, which would be Lyra. And then she could go on and ask if she referees it, she gets number 1 contender. Oh God, what's the next pay-per-view after? I think it is Crown Jewel in Australia. Man, that's come around quick. No, it's Clash in Paris. There you go, Clash in Paris. You can have it in Paris. Great match. Go and have it there. French will eat it up with their snails and all that. Anyway, I absolutely loved it. Bayley was on fire. It was like one of the first times in quite a while I've seen Bayley, and I thought, this is old school Becky Lynch. This is old school the man. She properly went for it in this match. And so did Lyra, and so did Bayley. All 3 of them did. But Becky really stood out for me in this match. There was moments I just thought, I ain't seen her do that for like 2 years. There was moments where I was going, that's new. I've never seen that side before. And there was just, Lyra Valkyria as well, by the way. She is just getting better and better and better. She is going to be main eventing a year. I don't even give it 2 now. A year. And she's going to main event. I think she will be the number 1 contender to win the Royal Rumble next year. I've said it here now, folks. I've said it. I think Lyra Valkyria will be the number 1 competitor to win the Royal Rumble in 2026. Okay? Heard it here. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks. Sorry to take a bit of time out in the vlog for you, but I wanted to talk about our sponsor, the amazing WrestleCrate, as you may have heard here. What is a WrestleCrate? Well, let me tell you. WrestleCrate is a monthly subscription box for people like you, that love wrestling. What do you get in this box, you're probably wondering? Well, let me show you. Autographs from people like Daniel Bryan, Lita, Godfather, DDP, Kane, Sting, the Hardy Boys. Well, what else do you get? Well, maybe you get a cool poster like this one. Cool key rings. Even pretty cool Lucha Libre puzzles like this. Cool pins like these. And you also get awesome t-shirt just like all of these. It's the best part, because you come through us before the free count, you can get yourself a free WrestleCrate with your first order just by going to www.wrestlecrate.co.uk and using the code BTTC, and you get a free box with your first order. How awesome does that sound? So what are you doing sticking around here? Go and get yourself one. Moving on, we had the women's tag team match, which was where we saw Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez retain the championships. Brilliant match. I did think this one was a little bit short, but again, there were so many matches on this card, and the card was phenomenal. So even though the match was short, it was still brilliant. A highlight shout out for this one. It's got to be this Charlotte and Alexa Bliss tag team. I've been telling you, this is going to be good. This is going to be really good. I think they're going to win at SummerSlam. I really do. I was quite convinced they were going to win this week at Evolution, but that didn't happen. But this little thing they've got going on, don't think that they're going to let that go. Nah, this is building up to, and plus the fact we all know that they actually get along. Have you seen the photos on Alexa Bliss's Instagram? They get along really well. But this tag team, this is going to, honestly, I swear to God, you'll come back to me in 3 months and go, he was right, he did know what he was talking about on this one. This is going to be one of those tag teams you've got to watch, because they're both pros, they've been here long enough, they both have completely different characters, and the way they're building this, believe me now, this will be a brilliant storyline. When they get the titles, one of them will want to go and fight against someone else and put the titles on the line. Charlotte probably won't. There'll be times when one of them will fall out, and then they'll try and get someone else involved, or they'll try and force them to tag. Believe me, it's going to be a rivalry tag team. It's going to be so good. You watch, I'm telling you, okay? But Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez retain yet again. Is Liv Morgan coming back at SummerSlam? Please, because I ain't being horrible, but whole Judgment Day thing, it's getting a little bit boring now. I'm sorry, I'm just saying it. Look, Finn Balor is a legend, okay? He's gonna be okay. I'm convinced, by the way, that we're gonna get Demon Finn Balor come back whenever this breaks up, purely because that little lunchbox that's been in the corner for all them weeks now, when they go to the Judgment Day section. JD McDonough, I think he's built himself a good enough representation to be able to go out and do single stuff. He'd have to build up a bit more to get to the level where someone like Jey Uso is, or Sami Zayn, but I think he's ready to go now. The girls are going to be fine. We've both seen them work separately before. As the tag team champions, this is the thing that could, keep them going. Dom is clearly going to be one of the biggest faces in the next decade. I don't know. I genuinely cannot think of anyone else apart from Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes or CM Punk, or maybe Seth Rollins as well, that gets the reaction just for them standing around the ring that Dominic Mysterio gets. Okay, that man is just so good in people's mind. We know it's fake, but second you see him, you just start booing the shit out of him. so you can't hear him speak. It's ingrained in us wrestlers. Dominic Mysterio on screen. Fuck off. Straight away. He's that good, okay? So, absolutely love the match. Happy they won. But can we move on and can we get Liv back? Or can Rhea rejoin? Nah, it's too late for that, isn't it? It's a bit late for that, mate. I think the Judgment Day has run its course now. I mean, it's been going for just over 5 years. I think they've done bloody well. You know, I remember, okay, bearing in mind, when they started this group, it was Edge, Rhea Ripley, and Damian Priest. And then Edge got kicked out. Oh, and Finn Balor as well. Finn Balor was an original member as well. So you have Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, and Edge. And then after that, they then kicked Edge out. And the person that joined them next was Dominic Mysterio at Clash at the Castle. And then we had the whole thing where Edge came back at WrestleMania to have the fight with Finn Balor, where he had a real nasty injury to his forehead from the cage match. And then Edge went off and did his thing. And then the Judgment Day just took over for like 18 months. And then last year at SummerSlam, we had this whole thing at this point between Liv and Rhea Ripley. And we didn't really know where it was going to go. And it was Rhea who got kicked out of the group. And of course, Damian Priest had a fight with Finn Balor because he got in the way of him after him trying to cash in. Well, not cash in, hold his title. So then then they brought JD McDonough in. And yeah, I've just gone through the whole history of the Judgment Day for you guys, by the way. Thank you. You're welcome. We're only on the third match. I need to get to the point. Come on, Charlie. We can do this. So, yeah, I think it was great, but I think I've made my peace on that one. Moving on, again. Are we halfway there? Yes, we are. We're halfway there. We then had NXT's champion, which we saw Stephanie. Right, I know I'm going to get the names wrong on these two, but I'm going to try my best. Not that they were hard to say, I just can't remember how to pronounce them, so I do apologise. We then had the NXT match. I don't watch NXT, I'm just being honest. We saw Judy June retain, and that was thanks to Miss Stephanie Blackheart, or Blackheart, whatever it is. I don't follow NXT, I do apologise, and that was I paused it, and I did watch it, but I can't remember a lot from it. I'm just being honest, okay? I can't remember a lot from that match. I do know it was a quick one. But again, from what I do remember, it was great as well. So, I'm not going to diss any of these matches. I just can't remember a lot from that one. And it's, no offence, it's not going to be high up there for me because I don't watch NXT. However, I know who the people are. I know who's up and coming. And I know that Judy is one of them. And so is Stephanie. It's a fair play to both of them. A great match on the women's card yet again. Okay. Moving on, we then had Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus versus each other in a women's world championship match. Phenomenal. Okay. All right. So first off, Tiffany, you're getting better and better and better. I mean, you've already got the championship, but she's like 22. Okay. And she's at this stage. Jesus Christ. Where is she going to be in like 5 years? Like, how many belts is she going to have by then? She could be the next Charlotte Flair. Honestly. She's just so good. So good. Trish Stratus. People go like, they're only bringing her in because she's one of the most known females. No, they're bringing her in because she's one of the only females that's done it and can still keep up to their standards. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Like, how is she still doing this? Okay? How is she still going? She's not old. Okay, by the way, when I say it like that, I'm not saying it because she's old. But, like, if you go away for, like, 15 years like she did and then come back, you're expected to show a little bit of ring rust, mate. But she's been back, like, on and off. She's like the female Logan Paul a bit. I meant no offence if you're watching this, Trish. I absolutely love you. You might remember from when you met me. Hi. Anyway, look, I was blown away by how good she was. She's been good in the previous matches where she's come back, but this is one of the best matches I've seen Trish Stratus have, probably since back in the day, okay? It was phenomenal, okay? She ruled the ring. I think the only reason she didn't win that title was purely because she can't go full-time anymore, because she's doing so many conventions, and she's got her kids, and she's got other stuff she's got to juggle in as well, okay? If it wasn't for that, and she could go full-time, hands down, she would have won that match. Hands down, I guarantee you. Because she has got everything still to be in the same league as the girls that are fighting now. Women, apologies. The women that are fighting today, okay? That's the one thing I took away from that match, is that Trish Stratus has aged like fine wine when it comes to wrestling, okay? She's not bad the way she looks as well. But, anyway, honestly, phenomenal. Phenomenal, okay? Then, moving on to Miss Stephanie Valkyria winning the gauntlet match for the women's Evolution and getting to speak to Stephanie McMahon in the ring afterwards. And she spoke in her own language, and it was really nice touch that Stephanie asked her, how do you feel after winning at Evolution, in her native language, which is Spanish. So I don't know why I said it like that, which is Spanish. Ole. But no, that was a really nice touch, and her speech was fantastic, by the way. The match was good. The match was brilliant, by the way. Very, very cool things that came out of that. The Chelsea Green thing with the... I never remember what they're called. The something... I think it starts with G or P. But basically her little group, okay? That was really cool. Nice to see Nia Jax in the ring again. It was really, I can't remember the other two, and it was the ones that knocked out Nia Jax, so I do apologise. My mind had just gone blank. That was phenomenal, some of them moves. Just the whole match was fantastic. It was absolutely brilliant. But to see Stephanie Valkyria go on and win and make that speech was one of the moments of the night for me. It was really touching to see as well. Really touching to see. Now, moving on to the main event of Evolution 2. We've still got bloody Raw to go, man. Raw, we're not covering every fight, by the way. We're just covering one major thing that you probably know what it's going to be. And the matches that have already been announced for SummerSlam. So don't worry, we're nearly there. You know, you're hanging on in there. I know it's quite a long one this week, but we're getting there. But we can't move on without speaking about probably one of the best women's matches I have ever seen in my life. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky at Evolution. Oh my good God. I was speechless from the moment it started to the amount of times that they both could have won, to Rhea literally dragging Io out of the ring and into the audience, to then have Io come back and do a fly in the sky into literally nothing but the floor in the arena, to see them throw each other about, to see the flips, the moves, oh my God, it was just unbelievable. Io with, what is it Io with bins, by the way? I've said this before, what is it with her and bins and jumping off stuff? I mean, it was just incredible, okay? Rhea Ripley, I think that's one of the best matches I've ever seen of you. Honestly, the lock-ins that you had, some of the ways that you got out of the free count, the way that you dragged Io around that arena, the back and forth smacking. I can't remember the name of your main move, and it's really annoying me. But some of the ways you were doing that, it was just incredible. There was a bit of blood that was shed as well, if I'm right. It was just phenomenal. If there is anyone out there that still says women aren't good as the men, that match, okay, that was better than any match I've seen this year by any man. Okay. And I'm just saying it, okay? Some of the best matches I've seen this year have been the women. And ironically, both Io Sky and Rhea Ripley have been in them. The Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania, and that one that we just had at Evolution. Okay? It was just phenomenal. Okay? And don't get me wrong, last year, my favourite match was quite a random one. My favourite match last year, if it were just talking a one-on-one match, was actually AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes after WrestleMania. Second place is the WrestleMania match where he won. And the reason why it's second is because there were so many people involved. It was brilliant to watch, but it's not a standard thing you're going to see every day. That match in Paris, unbelievable. Same thing here. This match, on an Evolution pay-per-view, on a one-on-one, one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. Probably the best women's match I've ever seen. I don't honestly know what else I can say, apart from, I don't care if you're not even a wrestling fan. Just go on Netflix, okay? Go and find Evolution. Make sure it's this year, 2025. Go to right at the end, about 40 minutes before it ends. Press play and watch that match. Then come back here and tell me why you're not a wrestling fan. Or to come back here and tell me why you think that women are not as good as the men. And why we're still having this conversation. And that's another thing that was brought up in the press conference. Triple H wouldn't confirm if this would become a yearly event now going forward. If he doesn't, he's an idiot, because we waited 7 years for this one, and what we've seen between the two of them, the two Evolutions that is, it's probably some of the greatest fighting we've ever seen from any women in any wrestling period ever, okay? That match at the end is worth putting up in contender of one of the greatest matches of all time. And I'm not even joking, okay? I don't know what else to compare it to. It was phenomenal. And here's the best part. I've not even got to the main part of the bloody match. And then we get to the point where we're on about the 7th count out by now. And they kick out. They're both exhausted. What happens? Everyone thought she was going for Trish. Everyone thought she was going for Trish. Tiffany, sorry. Everyone thought she was going for Tiffany. But oh no, she's fooled us again. Naomi comes down. She only goes and cashes in the Money in the Bank. Your new WWE Women's Universal Champion, Naomi. Is it called Universal? Undisputed Women's Heavyweight Champion. Yeah, I think that's right. You've got the WWE World Championship and the Undisputed Women's Championship. And she's just won the Undisputed. Okay? And it was one of the best. It was one of the best catch-ins I've seen. It's probably one of the best women's catch-ins I've seen. One of my other favourites was Liv Morgan's. I thought that was fantastic. But this was another level, okay? Because I don't know anyone that expected it to happen. I really don't. If anything, we were more convinced that Seth Rollins was going to cash in on Saturday Night Main Event than we even considered the theory that Naomi was going to cash in here. Because the reason for that match originally was whoever won it would then go on and face a number one contender. No, that will change. Because the number one contender match then changed to Tiffany Stratton against Jade Cargill. And now I'm going to go into my list of the matches that we've got coming up for SummerSlam that they've announced so far. And bearing in mind it's a 2-night event, okay? Straight off the get-go, Rhea versus Naomi versus Io Sky. If that match does not headline one of them nights, I will lose my shit. End of, okay? As I just said, one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. Probably the best women's match I've ever seen. Night 1 headliner. Thank you. Then, of course, we're going to get the rematch. We're going to go 3 rounds on this. We're only going to get Becky versus Lyra Valkyria. Another match that should easily open the show. Easily. Then, of course, after the amazing gauntlet match that we had in Monday Night Raw. We're in Monday Night Raw now, by the way. I didn't really cut the difference. We're going to talk about 2 things. It's this list and, you know. So because of that, I'm going to go to the next match. We'll go in a different order. Of course, we already know Cody Rhodes is only going to go for John Cena for a second time after WrestleMania. Yeah. Let's see that again. Let's go a little bit longer this time, though. Please. Yeah. Okay. He loses the title, and then he starts going good again. That's where we start seeing the change, and we see Cody go bad. That's what I can see coming. Obviously, there's still a chance that we're going to see Seth Rollins cash in. There's also a chance we're going to have... These are matches that haven't been confirmed, by the way, these ones from this point. There's a chance we're going to have Seth Rollins cash in. There was a lot of hinting towards Rusev versus Sheamus. I think that's going to happen at SummerSlam now. And, of course, we've got the gauntlet match that happened, where we saw Bron Breakker go up against... Of course, then we had the gauntlet match, which was on this Monday Night Raw, which was last night. We had Bron Breakker versus LA Knight. Bron Breakker won. This was all in one match. This was one match, okay? This is all one match. One match. All continued. One go. Bron Breakker versus LA Knight. Went on for about 15 minutes. LA Knight out. Bron Breakker wins. Carries on. Who's next? Jey Uso. That went for easily 20 minutes. Easily 20 minutes. Bron's knackered at this point. Beats Jey. Next. CM Punk versus Bron Breakker. Okay? CM Punk versus Bron Breakker. It was brilliant. And then Jey Uso comes back out to help him because Bronson Reed's getting involved. CM Punk wins. And of course, we then see Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker, they ain't having this, start going on town on CM Punk and Jey Uso. Paul Heyman's there laughing at the side, still holding old Seth Rollins' briefcase, saying like, this still could happen as well. Oh, of all the people, Roman Reigns came back. Roman Reigns, the OTC, the tribal chief, the big dog, whatever you want to let him know to be known as, probably in my opinion, the greatest of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, Roman Reigns is back for the first time since the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. It's the first time we've seen him since when I was there. The roof came off that arena last night. Came off that arena. Oh my good God. The cheer he got. It was like, I believe it was probably around about the same sound waves that Oasis got when they walked out on stage in Cardiff 2 weeks ago. Okay? So, just so you know, that's how loud I presume it was. Okay? Or when England scored that first goal in the final that we eventually went to go on and lose in the Euros about 2 years ago. When we got that first goal, probably the same thing when you stood out in your street if you're from England. You stood out in your street and that first goal went in. It's probably about the same decimals that hit last night. Roman Reigns is back. And also, new shirt, new gear, white gloves, doing a bit of Michael Jackson now. He's got his own customised belt, which is already out. It's not the reigning one. It's just a customised belt. It's got his face on, looking like that. He didn't say anything. He just, took down Bronson Reed, took down Bron Breakker, which is the thing that impressed me. We got a spear. We got some Superman punches. We saw him help his cousin Jey Uso back up. He went to go and help CM Punk, but he didn't. But there was talk between Jey Uso near the end. And CM Punk was like, come on, shake my hand, come on. It's us 3 against them 3 now. I don't know. I think they literally let him not shake his hand just for them to confirm it a week later. Because they do that with storylines. Roman's like, so we know he's going to say something, or we know he's going to shake his hand, but we'll make you wait a week to make it official. So now Roman Reigns in the picture for SummerSlam. I thought he was going to come back at SummerSlam. He's in the picture for the matches. Okay, so now there's rumours that we're going to have Jay and Roman versus Braun and Bronson Reed, with Seth Rollins on the sideline and CM Punk on the sidelines. But Seth Rollins is already going to have to cash in at some point, which I think could actually be the Cody Rhodes match. You see, we're now getting into rumours of that. But Roman Reigns is back, everybody. Roman Reigns. Yes, he's back. I'm so happy that chant has carried over all the way from England on the build-up from Raw, all the way through WrestleMania, and is already going again. Okay, by the way, because that was a British chant. We came out with that at SmackDown in London, and it's now going around the world. Okay, that's one thing that really made me happy last night. Okay, that chant is still going. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I've had so much fun filming this one. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to get involved, if you want to give your opinion, send me a Instagram, send me a tweet, put something on our TikToks, put something in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube or listening to this on Spotify. Okay? There's also, our generic email that you can get to. Let us know. Okay? What do you think of the last 3 days? What matches are you hoping will be added to SummerSlam? What do you think is going to happen with Roman Reigns? When do you think Seth Rollins is going to come back? And do you think that we are going to get a match as phenomenal again as we did at Evolution with Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and now Naomi, the undisputed women's champion? Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Charlie Crick. This has been Before the Free Count. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.